So, without any further ado, our first speaker is Jacky Drysdale. Jacky started work in the social care sector in 1977.
I know I don't look old enough.
You just stole the line. I'm
Sorry. When you get to my age, you have to be in quick.
That's right. I started before you. Okay. And has worked in a variety of different areas. So I will now hand over to Jacky. Thank you very much.
Bore da pawb. Good morning, everyone. Everyone make it through the snow and the ice and the challenges of travel. Feels a bit overwhelming being here with such a range of people. We've got residential care staff, managers, we've got social workers, we've got health workers. We seem to have the world here. Isn't that great that we're going to spend the day considering some of the challenges and opportunities around dementia care for the future. I want to talk to you a little bit about what Care Council for Wales has to offer in taking forward those challenges and opportunities, particularly in relation to the workforce, since that's our principal area. I'm having a bad hair day. You have those from time to time, or is it only me? I spend my life on the road and I still can't remember to pack a hairbrush, or I can't remember to pack the right hairbrush to do my hair in hotels. Now I say that because as I was trying to do it with a comb this morning, I realised the importance of revisiting, of reflecting, of reframing, retweeting something I don't really understand, but the basics in our lives, and the basics particularly in relation to the professional skills and knowledge that we all have. And lots that we expect from dementia care is very basic stuff that we should all have learned when we started our training, isn't it? It's about the way we are with people, the way we communicate with people, the way we communicate about people, the way we behave around people. Person-centred planning, although we often talk about it as new, has been around since I joined social care. Thank you for that date check. All those years ago. Some of you in this room will be able to go back to Wolfensberger, to John O'Brien, to a variety of other greats, to John McKnight, person-centred planning. Am I getting any yeses or no's? A few. To Kitson in terms of dementia care. Bob Wood, of course. And more recently, David sitting on my left here. So it is strange in many ways that with the basics in place in all of our training, I hope, we still have mid-staffs. And we're still here today wondering, what is it that we need to do to get better and to understand more? And it seems to me one of the things we've got to do is get better at the basics and then build from there. And hopefully that's what Care Council has been trying to do. In Wales too, we're at a time of change. We've got fast approaching the Social Care and Wellbeing Bill. Everybody read it? Have you started quoting from it yet? No? It's an interesting read. I often say to people, things like sustainable social services, as an insomniac, I thought was great because it was a nice, quick, easy read. The bill's a bit more challenging, and you need a Pantechnicon truck to carry it around in order to be able to quote from it. But really important opportunities to be seized in this bill about changing the way that we deliver services right across the board, from social work to social care and beyond. And Care Council for Wales, in terms of our responsibility for the workforce, has something to contribute to that. Some of the key themes from the bill and from Sustainable Social Services, the policy document that underpins it, I'm sure you'll all be aware of. Things should be citizen-led, sounds like person-centred planning to me. Community support and community involvement, sounds like community development to me. Have I been around too long? Professionalisation of the workforce. When I first saw that, I thought, do people think we're not professional? But it's very much about seeking the status and the recognition from other professionals that we in social work and social care have. And in order to do that, of course, we have to not only regulate the workforce still further, but we have to regulate its training, and we have to ensure that training becomes everybody's business. That social care, like all the other professions, is not a qualification that you get and you stick in your back pocket and you wander off and that's you for the next 40 years. That we're constantly updating and learning and changing and building on the basics. So again, that's something else that Care Council are trying to do. If I can work out how to advance this slide, I'm going to do so now. So what does Care Council contribute? Well, first of all, we are the regulator for the workforce. So we regulate social work students, social workers, adult care managers. Many people in here are actually registered with us? Quite a number. Okay, so you know about us. We're not too bad, really, unless you step out of line, and then we can be. We do have some teeth, but we try not to show them, except when we're smiling. Never trust a smiling cat. But we are the regulator, and it's a really important role, and one that is going to extend, in fact has extended very recently, in respect to the regulation of domiciliary care managers. Some of you needing to come into that category, perhaps. People who manage the care in domiciliary care settings, having to register with us by the 28th of February. But if people don't have the required qualifications, you've got till December to get it and register. So an extension of that, and that's about the professionalisation agenda. More workers being held accountable for professional delivery of services. We promote high standards of care and high standards of training. And that's another regulatory activity which principally till now has involved a regulation of social work training and the development of qualifications and standards for social care practitioners. But we've been asked by government in the new bill to extend our training regulatory activities to the regulated workforce. So that means we'll be relooking at the training for managers, the training for residential childcare workers, etc., people who are already registered with us, and further extending and tightening the regulation, because we've got some absolutely brilliant quality stuff going on, and we've got some stuff that, shall we say, needs some work. So we need to tighten up and improve the quality. One of the other things that we do is we've developed a range of professional guidance type frameworks, and we developed one about 3 years ago in relation to dementia care, which provides a range of tools and methods to support workers supporting individuals with dementia in a variety of different settings. I do have 1 or 2 left. There's a box has disappeared this morning already. But they are on our website, and if you want copies and you haven't seen copies, please see me before you go, and I'll make sure you have contact details to get them. We've also in the process of developing professional guidance for social care managers. And these people, of course, are already registered with us, and some of you are in the room. And this will be, if you like, an extension of the expectations that the profession has on you as a social care manager. And it will become part of the regulatory activities, i.e. if you don't follow it, conduct proceedings will follow. We just concluded the consultation on it on the 15th of February, and I do have copies of the consultation document available for you if you haven't seen it yet, because some changes will follow, but at least you'll have the basis of the expectations. And one of the very clear expectations in that is this development of a learning culture, is the view that learning becomes everybody's business, And we move past but it's difficult to release staff. We know that. But if we don't release staff and we don't invest time and effort and energy in qualifications and learning, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And actually, we need something different. So we've got to rethink the way we do things. And that includes the development of this learning culture. We undertook some research about 4 years ago, and that research led us to develop the new qualifications. I still call them the new qualifications. They've been in place since 2011. Say, I've been around too long. But these qualifications, the diplomas, which replace the old NVQs in health and social care, have within them very particular, specific units that relate to dementia care. And they're available at levels 2, 3 and 5, and they can be used not only as part of the new NVQ, if you like, the new diploma, but they can be used for individual learning and professional development. So something for you maybe to think about in terms of development for your staff or for yourself, taking some of these units, and I listed just a couple of them for your information if you haven't seen them. Understand the process and experience of dementia. Enabling rights and choices for individuals with dementia. Lots of really important stuff here, isn't it? That you hope people are doing all the time. But it's about the retweeting. It's about the reframing, the refreshing, the reminding ourselves of this, as well as extending and developing the skills and knowledge of ourselves and our staff. Sorry, just another one about purposes and principles. There's also, because the new qualifications are big, I haven't counted the number of units in new qualifications because I ran out of fingers and toes. And that was groups of us, not just me, ran out of fingers and toes. But there's a lot. There's about 300 or 400. And it can be quite challenging to find your way through that. So what we did was we worked with lots of people in the sector and we mapped particular units that were relevant to particular activities. And one of the activities that we mapped was around dementia care. So there are copies of those on the table outside, feel free to help yourself, but it helps you find a way to identify the particular units that will help your staff extend their knowledge, their competence and their understanding around particular activities, and dementia care is one of several that we've done. We've been working closely with the My Home Life Cymru project, which is a really excellent project by Age Concern Cymru that's trying to change the whole culture and environment of residential care. And of course we know that sometimes, very often, environment is the trigger to things like behaviours that can challenge services. So getting the environment right is so important. And the My Home Life Cymru, if you haven't had a look at it, I would commend it to you. As I say, we're working in partnership with that. It's not being led by us, it's being led by Age Concern Cymru. We've developed some digital stories, which are about reminiscence work, helping people tell their story, remember their story. And there's some DVDs outside that you can take away and use as triggers, etc. If you're working in that kind of activity. We are just about to launch a range of leadership and practice seminars, and one of the first ones to kick off will be around leading practice in dementia care. These will be free training opportunities. They will involve a range of things, including theoretical understanding, all the way down to action learning sets where you meet with peers locally to exchange ideas and share information and practice. So keep an eye open for those. It's an opportunity for you to get involved, and they will be subsidised, well, they will be free actually. There's also a Welsh Government programme Learning to Inspire, which is more generic, but if you're looking for ideas about leading and developing practice, leading and developing businesses, then you might find that of interest. We have the induction framework, which I hope most of you have seen and used, particularly really for residential domiciliary care providers. It's just been updated. And the induction framework, I started off with talking about the importance of building on the basics. The induction framework very much is about that. It's about values, it's about dignity, it's about respect, it's about listening and speaking to people in a respectful manner. It's about mattering, to steal your thunder, David. It's about that kind of very basic stuff that we want people to engage with as early in their career as possible. And again, there's lots of copies outside if you haven't seen that. Qualifications framework, this is the one that always makes people groan. We've just reviewed the qualifications framework that determines the qualifications you require in order to undertake certain roles and activities across the whole of the social care sector. And that will tell you the qualifications that your care staff need, that the supervisors and care homes need, that social workers need, etc., etc. So that's just been published, and I know it's a bit boring, but hey-ho. We've got to use it. It's part of our regulatory activities. So if you haven't seen the new one, please make sure that you're using the new one and you are fully aware of the qualifications that people need. Continuing professional development and learning. Social workers in the room, you've had it for a while, yeah? It's a kind of extension of what was the old PQ. It's coming for everybody, folks. So don't think because I'm not a social worker I'm going to escape. Continuing professional development and learning is going to become very much the norm. And part of the expectations of social care managers will be to ensure not only that they do it for themselves, but that they ensure that their staff continue learning throughout their career, throughout their lives. And that doesn't come without its own challenges, does it? We've got a hugely diverse group of staff working in a hugely diverse range of settings, and every one of them will have slightly different needs and slightly different skill bases. So we've got to find a way to try and make that easier for you, and that's what we're doing a lot of work on at the moment, is trying to identify ideas, blocks, units, qualifications, modules, reading, e-learning, a whole range of things that will help you in that process. And some of that is available today on the table. Lots more available on our website, so keep an eye open for it. It sounds as though this is a commercial, isn't it? Speaking for Care Council, events like this kind of feels as though I'm doing a commercial, and I apologise if that's how it's coming across, but I think it is about sharing the information that we've got and making sure that you have access to it. The other thing that we're doing is developing a guide on how to use national occupational standards. National occupational standards, and it's my business, make me groan. But they're really important because they can help people write mission statements for services. And as we move forward to this brave new world offered by the Social Care and Wellbeing Bill, we're going to have to redesign services from the bottom up very often. There will be changes to the way assessments are made of individuals for social workers. There will be changes to the way domiciliary care is delivered. There will be changes to the expectation around domiciliary care. There may be changes to contracting and commissioning processes. Change is ahead, and we need to be planning for it and making sure that we've got the right staff with the right skills in the right place at the right time. Or when I'm knocking on the door looking for support in domiciliary care in the not too distant future, because you've already done the calculations in your head about my age, we will know that it's a good service that's available. One of the reasons I keep going is I want to ensure not only people now have a good service, but there's a better service for me at the end of the day, because I don't have any family left. So, I've got nobody to look after me but some of you guys. And it better be good, because I'm a dodgy customer. That's really all I wanted to say about the work of Care Council for Wales. I hope it was useful, I hope it brought you up to date. We are seeing this as a very real opportunity to ensure that we've got tools, methods, qualifications, units, learning, training, experience that improves the quality of dementia care, and we're very keen to work with you to ensure that that happens. So if you haven't got involved in some of the variety of consultation events and activities that we undertake when we develop anything, please do so, please get involved, because without people who are out there doing the job, we might get it wrong. Some of us have been away from practice for quite a long time, and it's really important that we connect, not only to you, but of course to the people you support. And a lot of the work that we're doing at the moment is around trying to connect with people who use services and of course their carers, and provide training and learning opportunities for that group of people as well. That's me lot, that's my bit for today. Thanks very much. I'm around. We've got a few minutes if anybody particularly wants to ask any questions. Stun them all into silence, Jane. I'm running for the hills. Diolch yn fawr, thank you very much.